Hi, and welcome to week 4, our final week in our student engagement series. We have talked a lot about easy engagement strategies throughout this whole series to help you go into your classrooms tomorrow and implement these great strategies. Last week, we talked all about partners and how to pair up students and how to help them have conversations. And so for our final week, we're going to wrap all of this learning up with some more easy and helpful tips for you. I'm gonna leave us off with how to help you get those students engaged all the time in learning. And where this all comes down to is creating that environment in which all students can thrive and know that their voice is important and that it's okay to make mistakes. This can be really challenging to set up because students can naturally be very shy and have a hard time expressing themselves. So how do we do that? By creating a student-centered classroom, spending the time explicitly modeling those important things we talked about, as well as helping students feel like this is their space and their classroom, and it's okay no matter what they have to share, whether it's right or wrong. So what exactly is a student-centered classroom and how do you create it? Well, a lot of these tips we've talked about are very student-centered, showing them how they can talk, showing them who they can pair up with, how they can advocate for themselves. Those are all very powerful things in student-centered classrooms, as well as tailoring it to them and their specific needs and helping them take the ownership. Instead of us standing up there talking at them all day, we become more of a facilitator and let them own it and say, hey, you got this, empower them, create those interactive anchor charts, hang up their work, it's their space. So a student-centered classroom is that. It's creating a space that's shared, that they know that this is their space and they can own it. One of the most beautiful things about student-centered classrooms is not only do you see their engagement soar, but you also see their ownership soar and they become in charge of their own learning. I'm talking even as young as kindergartners and first graders. When you empower them and show them that they can do it, they can get what they need, they can choose how they want to learn, you see not only your engagement soar, but also your management, because you're not putting out little fires. You're teaching them how they can solve problems on their own without you and not interrupt and blurt out. And instead, it creates this harmonious space where they are in charge of their learning. And I know that sounds scary, but it is amazing. And this student engagement piece is a huge part of that. Now you may be asking yourself, how in the world do you create a student-centered classroom? And does it even work? The answer is yes, it works. It works wonders for your stress and your planning. And it is very impactful for their learning too. And the beautiful thing is I have a course specifically designed to walk you through each step of building a student-centered classroom. And these little tidbits and nuggets that we've been doing over the past few weeks are just a very small piece of all the things that are encompassed in a student-centered classroom. Building relationships, social emotional skills, teaching students how to solve their own problems independently so that your classroom almost runs itself. And I've decided to go ahead and open this course up just for 2 days in case you want to go ahead and jump into this learning before the next school year, because it truly is magical. The course is all self-paced, so you can do summer PD by the pool, get all this great learning and walk away with so many tips and tricks so that next school year you are ready to dive in, and even the end of this school year, finish it out strong with some of these great tips and even more with building a student-centered classroom. So if you would love to join us for the next 2 days, 48 hours, drop a yes, please in the comments and I will share the link with you. Again, I'm only gonna do this for 2 days. I do not normally open this up, but because we've been doing so much great learning, I wanted to share even more of the magic with you. So I hope you really enjoyed this series. I really enjoyed sharing it with you and I'm very passionate about this and I know it can be really hard, but also we can empower them. So I hope you join us in building a student-centered classroom and let us know what you thought about this series in the comments.